Shalom to all you brothers out there. I'd like to start off by saying double honors to the elders. Out here again, pushing this word, trying to wake up these hard-headed niggas, you know, condemning this wicked kingdom, right? And with that said, we started off at Amos. Some basic bread and butter scriptures. You know, sometimes you gotta touch it. Right. Right, this is Amos 9 and 8. And it says, behold, the eyes of the Lord power are upon the sinful kingdom, right? And that sinful kingdom is just this infrastructure in its raw essence, right? It's filthy, it's disgusting, right? And according to the scriptures, it's filthy and disgusting, right? Because everywhere you go, what are they gonna do? Everywhere you want to eat, what are they gonna offer you? They're gonna offer you abominable foods, cooked in an abominable fashion, right? You know, whatever influences you see on these so-called TV screen and so on and so forth, you're hearing on the radio or so on and so forth, is abominable, right? Right. So that's why in the scriptures it's known as the sinful kingdom, right? And really, that sinful kingdom has its roots in America, which is also known as Babylon, which comes from the root word Babel, which is the Hebrew word meaning confusion, the land of confusion. Why? Because in a land of confusion, right, what's gonna be in a land of confusion, right, there's no knowledge of right or wrong, right? Like the scripture says, basically pertaining to having everything upside down in Isaiah, right? Whereby homosexuality is allowed, abominable eating is allowed, all manner of wickedness is allowed, right? And that's Babylon, man. That's confusion. That's the land of confusion, which is America, right? Which is the root of the sinful kingdom, right? Because everywhere you go, right, all the influence of that harlot, that mother harlot, right, is perpetuated through, and America has its influence across the whole world, right? So therefore, it's the root of that sinful kingdom. And it says, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will utterly not destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord. Right? So the Most High is going to destroy this wicked kingdom, but He's not going to destroy the house of Jacob, right? Starting with the elders on down, basically the people who are on this truth, pushing this truth in sincerity, right? And if you didn't know, right, the house of Jacob is all of Israel, basically, well, not all of Israel, right? What this is pertaining to the people that do wake up to know that they're Israelites, right? And like I was saying, if you didn't know, the people of Israel are basically you niggas out there, right? You so-called Latinos out there, you so-called Mexican, right? Guatemala, Panama, right? You so-called Haitians, right? So-called Jamaicans, you're all Israelites, you're all people of the Most High, right? Like I say every week, if you got flavor in your step in these scriptures be pertaining to you, man, you're a child of the Most High, right? You're supposed to be following the 613 lower statutes and commandments. You're supposed to be waking up to this truth right about now, right? Like the scripture says, it's high time to wake up out of fucking sleep, man. High time to wake up, right? Because like the scripture says, right? When Solomon built his temple, the Most High said to him, hey, whenever Israel fucks up, right, and they all turn back to the Most High and pray to that place, when they all get together and pray through the Most High's name, right, and we turn back into His law, statutes, and commandments, and we turn back to the east where Solomon's temple is, then, you know, that's where we take us back as a whole nation. So really, right, what we're waiting for is Israel to wake up and we can get the fuck up out of here. Right? And this wicked kingdom could be destroyed. Right? It says, "For lo, I will command, I will sift the house of Israel among all nations." Right? So why would the Most High say why would the scriptures say, read the scripture is, is by the inspiration of the Most High, right? Why would the Most High say he will sift the house of Israel among all nations? Because we was distributed among all nations. That was part of the curses, that we won't stand strong as one nation, right? That we will be dispersed amongst the heathens. Right? Now another flip side to that is the balance of the Most High, right? To rule over the earth is to know, and to rule the heathen is, there's going to be a period of time you're going to know and understand how wicked these heathens be. And to one side to look at it is the Most High brought us to their level so we can rule over it, right? Because at the end of the day, we're the royalty on this earth, man. Right? Now, but like I was saying, not to trail off and catch myself going off slightly on the scriptures, adding to the scriptures, which you ain't supposed to do. Like I was saying, what's my train of thought there? Like I was saying, basically part of the curses were being dispersed amongst the heathens. Right? And the Most High is basically saying, the Most High is going to sift out the house of Israel from amongst the heathens. Right? Basically, the people that wake up to this truth, who are dispersed amongst the heathen, and who wake up to the fact they're actually Israelites. Right? Because you might catch yourself seeing, hey, and there was a case that happened out in the States out there with the brother who calls himself a buck, where a Jake, and he was a Jake. Everyone who was in the spirit knows he was a Jake. It looked like he was Chinese, but he was an Israelite, right? And he, if that man, woke up to the fact that he was an Israelite, he'd be turning to that scripture, that particular scripture where the Most High says that he's going to sift the house of Israel amongst all nations, right? We read on, it says, "Like as corn is sifted in the sea, right, yet not shall the least grain fall upon the earth." Right? Now that scripture goes hand in hand with Matthew the 13th chapter. Oh, that verse rather more. This is Matthew 13 and 24. It says, "Another parable put forth unto them, saying," right? And one little key point to put in there, the Most High, the Most High spoke in parables because basically some of these people, see, there's an elect of Israel, right? And there's Israel. But as a whole, Israel is the ruling and governing body upon this planet. Right? But then there's a ruling and governing body upon it. It's within Israel in itself. Right? Now, that ruling and governing body is going to wake up to this truth from this side. Right? And then they get the salvation when that number is sealed, we get that salvation. Or Lord willing, that'll be part of that. But when that number is sealed, right, we get the fuck up out of here. Right? And the rest of Israel is going to be he's going to be reborn in the kingdom. Right? And they'll be waking, they'll be born into this truth. Right? But the basic thing I was trying to say is there's a ruling body within the ruling body. Right? And that ruling body is basically supposed to wake up to the truth. That's why some of the scriptures were sealed away from the well, I wouldn't say the least of Israel, but the ones that weren't supposed to get the truth from this side. That's why the Most High spoken, or that's why Yahweh spoke in parables. Right? It says, "Another parable put forth unto them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is like unto a man which sowed a good seed in the field." Right? What was that good seed? That good seed was Israel. Right? It goes on to say, "But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat." Right? That's why you might catch yourself seeing Edomite, right? Who looks like a Jake. Like Lenny Kravitz, for instance, that's a tare, right? That's why we say a certain man like that he's a tare, right? Because it looks like a Jake, but he's really he's not the wheat, he's not the good stuff. And he says, but while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat, and he went his way. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servants of the household, came and said unto him, Sir, didst thou not sow good seed in thy field? From whence has it tares? Right. So basically saying, one of the servants came out to him, basically saying, you sowed a good seed. What's going on? Right. You got tares with amongst the good seed. Like right now you catch yourself seeing a man or a woman that looks like an Israelite, but they ain't got no flavor in their steps, and they ain't really too deep. They ain't in the scriptures at all. Right? They just they got that wickedness underneath their tongue, right, so to speak, right. That's pertaining to that's pertaining to the scriptures, because it's gonna have certain men and certain women out here that's gonna look like they're Israelites, but they ain't Israelites, right. Those are tares, right. And it goes on to say, and he said unto them, an enemy hath done this. The servant said unto him, Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, Nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. Let both grow until the harvest. Right. So right now, the Most High is basically saying, the Most High, he's allowing these heathens to be, to be amongst our people right up until the harvest. What's the harvest? Right. The harvest is, the end of this world, basically. Right. So you're gonna have certain men who are in this truth, wake up to this truth, and wake up to the fact they're Israelites, and they've been, living their life to in accordance with the scriptures, right? And they're gonna have certain people in their families who are actually tares, right? Moses is gonna let them dwell together until the end of this world, and let's see what he's gonna do with them, right? It says, let both grow together until the harvest, which is the end of this time, right? And in the time of the